Hey friends and family, and new friends and family. I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed because I'm going to be getting up early tomorrow. Work starts on the video tomorrow morning at 5, and I'm on crew. But I was inspired by watching a new vinyl member. I forgot your handle, but your name is Chris. And I want to answer your thread. And I really enjoyed watching your video and your introduction as well. I see you have some videos before that. Excuse me, I'm laid back. You know what I mean? It's been a nice long day. I've worked hard and I've relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to bed. But Chris, I want to answer your thread for several reasons. I love the question. It's a simple one. I do think it's one that's been talked about, but I'll answer anew. But I really enjoyed listening to your answer. What I was really struck with was I want to answer this thread directly to you, but also to the community in this sense that what I notice about new members or people that appear to be new to me, like especially who are coming on through the FBVC, and then consequently are now making videos. Yourself, another fellow named Graham, I think there are others. What I'm loving and what I'm noticing about you folks is that, it's, to me, it's a reflection of what's going on here, is that you guys are, number one, you're great human beings, but you're also well-spoken, um, interesting, intelligent, real folks, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? Um, I think it's fantastic that you still are able to listen to music, even though you were saying you have suffered some hearing loss from being on a tractor. I can imagine. That's fantastic, that music, is so powerful that even with that, you still want to listen. I can imagine some folks like maybe working around jets or something. You never know. Maybe they would not want to listen to music after a while. But man, I just really pick up your genuine love for music, life, your personality. You express yourself well. I just love that, and I think that's part of what I'm drawn to in watching videos of other people. Is I like all kinds of people, but the people I like the most are people that are listening to music that I am interested in, but even above and beyond that, people whose personalities just, we're all drawn to different people, but I love that you just seem like a genuinely really good human being, and maybe you want to just respond right away. Um, I don't want to take too long. I could talk all night about music, but again, I would say that ultimately the reason I'm back to collecting vinyl, because I kind of went dormant for a while. I had always, my videos explain my history of starting collections and then selling and giving them away because of going through changes based on my own religious saga, spiritual saga, actually, where it's at now. Um, but due to being 56, going on 57 years old, I grew up with vinyl. My parents were musicians. My mom was deaf, so she wasn't obviously listening to music. We couldn't afford hearing aids, so um, she read lips and she couldn't hear. But my dad was an active jazz musician. Music was very important. All of my aunts, mainly my uncles, all of my uncles. Interesting I said my aunts, but I thought right away of these women from the past in my family. And there were, they were all musicians, including my grandparents, both sides. My brothers and sisters were all artists and musicians of varying degrees. And so music was always in the house, and the form was the radio and the record. I myself, as a child, fell in love with the form of the record. the 78 first and the 45, but yeah, actually the first thing was the little golden records, the little ones they give you as children. But indeed, the pursuit of music, and speaking of, I love classical music, and this is what I'm listening to: Daryl Way with Opus 20. This piece is called The Human Condition. Fantastic. It's contemporary. Daryl Way was in the band Curved Air, progressive rock band from England, and this is he does classical music now, or was. It's been out for a while. Fantastic. Even though I'm tired, I just, music and what it does for life, what it does for culture, what it does for society is, it's irrefutable and it's immeasurable. And as an art form, I absolutely agree that one of the most enjoyable ways of interacting with music is with records. Um, the music, the cover. I mean, I did go through the sea change in the 80s and 90s, like a lot of people, when the CD became popular. It's like you change with the times. I wanted to be changed with the times. I'm always, you know, trying to be aware of what's happening. So I went with it. And, I do kind of regretfully look back and see how I devalued records for a while. Just, I'll admit it, going with the flow. But in all honesty, as it came back to me, I would say I've always bought, even when I wasn't buying. I look in every year. Um, I still bought records, but then it's in the 2000s. It came back awake, and finding this community of people worldwide that are just like me about your own stuff, especially stuff that I'm into, because my taste is eclectic, but I love all kinds of music. I do, and I'm learning a lot about some of my old habits of kind of being crappy about music. I'm getting better, but music, records, vinyl, the pressing, the covers, the different types of vinyl, um, where it's pressed at. Um, I do like the different aspects of presenting it, as in colored vinyl, splattered vinyl, picture discs, all the different forms of presentation I find fun. But the form in itself, the record, the different ways it can be pressed, um, is fascinating, and it's interactive. When you play a CD, you try to interact with it, but looking at the numbers countdown, that ain't gonna do it. You know. Thank goodness I have a house full of CDs. I have as many CDs as I have albums. I was thinking that I probably, because of Blake Sleeves, it allowed me to get a count. I have about 6,000 albums, but I also have about 6,000 CDs. Now, when it comes to 7-inch singles, I'm looking at the time. Okay, I'm doing all right. I know I have several thousand. I don't know how many. At least 2,000. I'm thinking more than that. So I'm in love with the vinyl form as an art object, as like people like books. Books are kind of like friends, records. They're not like friends, but I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it is that you have an interaction, you have a relationship. This is part of my life. This is part of our life. How we do things. Part of how we do things is we're spending time interacting with this form. I, for one, still think that as a form, it's genius, and a gift. Sound, expression. I mean, you can put anything on a record. It doesn't have to be music. It can be anything. But what a wonderful vehicle for that. And so I see it in a practical way. I see it in a romantic way. I see it in a spiritual way. I try to encapsulate by saying those things what I'm trying to mean and encourage you to allow that to stimulate your imagination, because that's exactly what this entire endeavor is. It keeps me alive, keeps me young. As I keep saying kind of vainly, I'll be 57 years old on July 7th. You know, I probably look my age in some ways when I look at my neck, but also at the same time when I look at my face and I look at pictures of me all through the years, I just see the same person. Uh, I feel really good. I haven't gotten off track because all of this is answering your thread, Chris. You know, all of this is why I buy vinyl, because it is the interactive art form that I choose in this world to embrace the most. Um, you know, actually, even more than being a musician. I love to play. I was about to grab my guitar, but it's all tangled up. I love to play, but I'm also as much a fan as maybe even more of a fan. But I am a musician. You know, I can play. You know, and so I think I'll stop there because I do feel a little bit rambly now, and it's like I want to honor this time thing. I want to keep it down. You know, myself, because it's hard to watch long videos. You know what I'm saying? Chris, welcome to the vinyl community. You are you're cool, man. And I say this about people, and I mean it sincerely. It would be a gas to meet you and your wife, and that's so cool. Um, you are a farmer. Awesome, man. I better go to bed.